All right, Paradox Interactive did a massive set of announcements today covering a lot of different things being added to, well, Paradox's catalog. But one of those is the new DLC of Northern Lords for Crusader Kings 3 is what they call a flavor pack. Now, they have said that this is a smaller flavor pack compared to some of the previous DLCs from other Paradox titles, such as Crusader Kings 2 and Hearts of Iron, but it is chock full of some really fun stuff in this feature breakdown video. So we're going to go through this real quick. Before we get started, I will say that you can use my Nexus store link to then purchase Crusader Kings 3. The DLC is not on there just yet, but I've talked to Nexus and it'll probably be on there in the next couple days or so. So if you would like to support the channel, please go ahead and wait for it to come out on the Nexus store to purchase it. Otherwise, just go ahead and buy it. I'm not gonna rustle my jimmies if you don't, but it does help me out a ton. But let's go through some of this. Just a heads up, it's $6.59 on in US currency on Steam, so it should be around that price, if not cheaper, on Nexus. Let's jump through this. I'm going to bring the volume down here. I'll put a link to this if you'd like to watch it directly, but this DLC is going to be focused on Vikings, on Norse, Northern Lords. Now, whether or not that is strictly Norse characters, or whether that also includes some of the Finnish characters or some of the people of Poland, we're not really sure here. Not Poland, sorry, like the Eastern kind of Slavic group that's not necessarily Norse. So in this, they kind of pretty much saying like the reason we chose Northern Lords was because a lot of people have been choosing them for their playthroughs. They were choosing this as their primary kind of way to play through the game. So we decided to kind of really go through some of that. And there seems to be a lot of stuff added into this. So I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit.
We know to be very popular.
Yeah, see, just saying right here.
Play style where you raid and you conquer fragmented realms, and we wanted to enhance that experience and also show the richness and depth of Norse culture.
So with this, we'll be getting a whole bunch of new additions to the game. So epic adventure awaits. And we don't really know how this mechanic works just yet. We'll get more information on the 16th when we can actually dive into Northern Lords and the new patch version 1.3, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. But this is pretty exciting. So you get the ability essentially to supplant your culture and move somewhere else.
For example, conquer Normandy and actually leave your old Scandinavian home behind, moving everyone over to your new lands. Even if you don't. So
that kind of makes for a really fun and exciting way to play Crusader Kings 3, right? Where you're not just simply trying to grow out from Norway, you're just leaving Norway and going somewhere entirely new and just bringing your whole culture with you. So I like how he was saying you could just move over to Normandy, but you could probably go the distance with this, right? Like we've already seen people taking their Norse cultures and going and invading all of India and creating like this Norse Indian faction. So I'm really excited to see how that kind of works out and how that mechanic comes into the game. We don't have many details. There's no like really cool breakdown with this just yet. So we'll find more out in the coming days, but we get to pursue new goals.
When you own the Northern Lords and play as a Northern ruler. For example, there are new innovations to discover, and there are new dynasty legacies to pursue.
So there's two new dynasty legacies. And look at this. We're kind of coming down here. Let's pause it right. Oh, let's go back just a little bit here. Go forward and we'll see. Wabam! Look at that. We have Viking tactics. So I don't know what that is. I wonder what that is. We got the long ships there and herds. So some different cultural and regional innovations have been added into the game. Two new dynasties have been brought in with both pillage and adventure. And these two are kind of saying like, hey, what type of character do you want to play? Do you want to use whatever adventure does and try and expand out through adventure, or do you want to do more on the pillaging raiding portions of Vikings? Or at least that's what I've gathered from what he's telling us here. So a lot of really fun gameplay improvements seem to be coming out here, and also a whole bunch of little dilemmas that come with it, little situations that are innocuous as let's have a snow fight, but you also have yearly occurrences that seem to increase, like a mystic comes to your court, or a berserker like he goes on to talk about here. So It's a really kind of fun expansion upon the typical way of playing the Northmen, which I think is cool. And I think that what's really exciting about playing Crusader Kings 3 is the explorers from the south. I don't know if you talked about it yet.
Found the High Kingdom of the North Sea.
Oh yeah, so
find the British Isles and Scandinavia in de jure.
I'll let him say.
You found the Jomsvigkings, who are
yeah, so two big things right there is some new decisions to make really big, cool empires. He talks about forming the capital, the Rus. So there's some really cool stuff coming with that. And he talks about the holy order of, he says Jomsvigkings, but I've always thought it was pronounced Jomsvikinger. So there's that holy order.
A group of fanatical fundamentalist Norse religious followers bound together in a holy order. Though they are as likely to punish you for not living up to their standard of what a strong Norseman should be, as they are to raid Christians in Britain, for example.
So that's a pretty fun little innovation, right? A fun little improvement is getting holy orders brought into Asatru, basically. Whereas before it was just strictly Catholic, now we can get it actually for Asatru, which is pretty cool. But let's move forward a little bit further here.
Foundation of the capital of the Rus. Naturally, the life of a Northern Lord is not all about these epic decisions to take, but also immersing yourself in the everyday life and toil of a Northern ruler.
So this is some of what he talks about with some, I kind of got ahead of myself. This is what I was talking about with some of the new occurrences and decisions that come up with the Northern Lord Slaver Pack. Like, look at this, Leviathan. Get the harpoons. This is looking great. So what a grand quarry, because this person seems to be a hunter with that perk right there. So a lot of really interesting ones. And like I was saying too, there's a berserker comes to your court, or here's the one for the berserker, I think. I'm not really sure. I thought it's, oh no, maybe not. Blood on the snow. This is just a snowball fight. Like, so some really cool flavor from a flavor pack. And I really like this. Oh, Shield Maidens is another cool one. So you can add Shield Maidens into your army in some way, shape, or form. And I wonder if that's bound to a lifestyle. Like, okay, hey, like the same way having a war horse is bound to the chivalry focus of the martial lifestyle. So I wonder if being a Shield Maiden is bound to the military lifestyle choice, and maybe it comes up through there as a decision. I wonder how that kind of is done, or maybe it's done something through like religion. I'm not really sure. So it'll be exciting to see how that works. Also, I talked about what I thought was blot. Blot. But you can do that to do a big sacrifice. So now they talk a little bit now about the version 1.3 patch that is coming. I think they call it Corvid or something.
1.3 Corvus.
Corvid, potato. And the big three things that he highlights with this is the addition of winter, the addition of the duel system, and the addition of poetry. These are all things that we've seen in the developer updates that they've been releasing the last month and a half, 2 months. So it's exciting to see winter come into the game, to get poetry added into the game, and to get this duel system added into the game. And they conclude here by saying, yo, you'll be able to jump into this as early as the 16th, which is, as the posting of this video, 3 days away. So the 16th, we've got a lot of stuff planned then on that case. We will be streaming the Northern Lords DLC. So come on by on the 16th. I'll be streaming around 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll also be doing a giveaway of Northern Lords DLC. I'll just buy a key or two and do a giveaway. So if you'd like to watch the Northern Lords, see it in action, we'll be doing that on Tuesday. But hopefully we'll get some more information and be able to release some guides and videos on that information. All things permitted once I get a chance to get my hands on everything and dive deep on it. But guys, I'm really excited for this. We've been talking about DLCs for this for some time. I think even in the last stream, we're debating, okay, what's it going to be? And I said, you know, it could possibly be something Viking related, because Valheim is a thing with that game blowing up. Kaldheim is the newest MTG or Magic the Gathering set. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Like, it's just there's such a heavy emphasis on stuff with Norse and Viking culture in video games right now. It just seemed like that was the next logical progression. I had personally hoped, though, for an increase on any of the Islamic or just the clan-based cultures in the game, because it seemed a little bit bare bones. But I think this is a really good first step as far as DLCs go, to kind of show us how Paradox can really flesh out a culture. That this is a disturbing picture. It's like he's looking into my eyes. I'm going back here. Oh my god, it's even more piercing. But it's fun to see this, because we, at the same time, it kind of gives us a taste for what could possibly come from Crusader Kings 3 Northern Lords, and what that means for future DLCs as far as what it could expand on those other cultures. So guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Again, don't forget to check out the Nexus store. You probably won't see the DLC on there just yet, but it will be on there in the next probably couple days or so. If you can purchase through that, it helps me out a ton. If not, don't even worry about it. But as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one, and take care.